Hi, this is Erin Harrison coming to you from the Santa Clara Convention Center at Cloud Expo, and I'm joined now by Treb Ryan, CEO of OpSource. Welcome, Treb.
Hi, Erin. Good to be here.
Thanks for being here. So before we get started, tell us a little bit about what OpSource does in terms of cloud infrastructure.
So OpSource provides what we call a true public cloud infrastructure. The ability to get servers and systems, storage, and even now networks on demand immediately. You know, that whole 4 cents a CPU hour, 2.5 cents a RAM hour, fully API accessible. We focused initially on software companies providing applications within the cloud, from dedicated software as a service companies like an Exactly or Taleo to traditional software companies making the move like an Adobe or BMC. But now we offer that cloud service directly to anybody from small and medium businesses. We do a lot of business now through SIs and VARs who are bundling that up as part of their offering to their customer, and even telecoms who are bundling them into their telecom services.
And where are you guys seeing most of your deployments at this point?
You know, right now we're seeing it across the board. I mean, I would say we obviously see, from a use case scenario, 2 primary areas. The first area, not surprising, is software, and that's been our background. So people are deploying applications into the cloud. CA, for example, is a big customer of ours on our cloud infrastructure, deploying everything from monitoring applications to single sign-on applications. About 1/3 of our customers are these SIs and VARs. They're people who aren't using it directly for themselves, but they're deploying a third-party application or a custom application for some end customer. And then outside of that, it's across the board. We never see, in any of no other group makes up over 10%, even of the remaining third. We're seeing everything from healthcare to entertainment and media. What's exciting is we are seeing a number of people now using it for production purposes. So not just, hey, doing test and dev, and we do have people do test dev, we have people doing load testing in the environment, but a number of people are now using it for production applications, for either doing customer interactions or selling products or creating something new in those environments, using it for internal IT even, which we didn't see probably a year ago.
Okay, great. And while you're here at Cloud Expo, I understand you're going to be speaking at a session and talking about the frictionless sales in the cloud. So can you give us a preview of what you're going to be talking about?
Well, yeah, you know, it's interesting about cloud. I think we can even start back when we think about the cloud. That we tend to talk about the cloud from a technology perspective. You know, it's a combination of virtualization on the servers and the network and the storage side, and how we deploy these systems, especially for a system admin like me. It's all about how we deploy the technology. Well, you have to understand why people really like the cloud. And what we discovered is that, you know, why people like the cloud is the same thing they like the internet. You know, essentially you have a generation of users in the workforce now who've grown up using the internet. You know, who grew up day one as their primary focus on technology. And when you think about that, that means they're used to getting everything right away, right? They can just do a search and get going. They're used to being able to get things anytime, any place. They're used to be able to share and collaborate on the data. And while things like virtualization enables that type of usage, that's not why they like it. Why they like it is the things they like about the cloud: the immediacy, the ability to, through things like APIs, to share and collaborate on data and information in systems, the ability to get it anytime, any place. And so what we're talking about today is less about the technology that drives behind it and more about how you interact with those customers. Because a lot of times we're seeing now that people are beginning to create cloud environments, applications in the cloud, or infrastructure in the cloud such as we're doing, but not understanding that the buyer is a much different buyer than someone who bought a traditional client-server environment. You know, you take some of my generation, we went out and bought servers and we bought an application and paid a big license and put it on that. And when I wanted to do something at home, I bought a home computer and then I went and bought disks over at Fry's and installed the software. Now you have people whose interaction with technology all comes over the web right away very quickly. So it's important enough to realize that you can't sell to that group the same way you sell to a traditional user. First of all, no big surprise, they like to buy things on the web. If they're going to make the purchase decision, they often don't want to have to go through a sales rep. They want to be able to just get it, click a button, get going right away. Secondly, we've seen this movement from large install software packages, you know, your traditional enterprise software in systems, to take Salesforce, I think was one of the first companies that did it well, that went to that monthly subscription model where you can go get a 1 or 2 year contract But you only pay for it monthly, so you're paying for what you use monthly. And that changed a lot of the way people thought about software, thought about technology purchases in the cloud. We saw the next generation companies like SoftLayer and Constant Contact go down to monthly, and I'm only making a monthly commitment. What we love about cloud right now is we've gotten to the point with OpSource and other true public cloud providers, you're making an hourly commitment. The smallest server you can buy from us is one CPU and 1 gig of RAM. It's 6.5 cents an hour. If you use it for an hour, you turn it off, it's still 6.5 cents. Sure. It's amazing. You have a group of users who's very comfortable saying, okay, I'll try something out for 6.5 cents. Now, 6.5 cents ends up being $42 a month. 10 of them ends up being $420 a month. One of them that's really powerful might be $720 a month. But they're never making a $8,000 or $9,000 commitment, or even better yet, $1 million commitment. They only think they're making a 6 cent or 8 cent commitment. And when you can get that kind of frictionless sale, it's amazing how much quicker people will buy you and use you. Where they'll come and say, okay, I can talk to this one company, but I have to make a long-term commitment. I have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to use it. Or I can go online, start it up, get going right away, start using it for 7 cents an hour, try it out essentially for free, and get up and going in a couple of days. We've seen sales cycles shrink from 9 months down to really, it was as little as 9 minutes, but really on average about 7 days when you can do that kind of frictionless selling.
Okay, great. And before we wrap up, Treb, do you care to take a guess at any particular trends or predictions for 2011 in terms of cloud infrastructure and how that's going to evolve?
Yeah, I think you're going to see it become more and more part of overall solutions. And this has been an ongoing theme. What we talk to the SIs and VARs about when we talk to the telecoms is that in the end, cloud infrastructure is very cool, but your end product's still a server. And no one ever sat around a boardroom table and said, you know what this company needs? A new server, right? People want solutions. They want to improve their marketing efficiency. They want to understand what's going on in their sales pipeline or improve their customer service. And the cloud enables that in whole new ways for these users. But we're going to see the cloud get integrated into much bigger solutions, whether it's an overall telecom solution where it's bundled in with networking and security, or whether it's part of an application like one of our software as a service vendors that solves some certain problem, or even what an SI might do to create a specific custom solution. But instead of buying an HP server or going out and getting an EMC array, is building that on the cloud for their end customer.
Okay, great. Thank you, Treb, for joining us.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Treb Ryan, CEO of OpSource. I'm Erin Harrison, coming to you from the Santa Clara Convention Center at Cloud Expo.